Hello to all friends. This week, we present to you the test of the red Lamborghini, the first super assumed. It is a vehicle of all superlatives. It is the most powerful and also more aggressive. In this essay, I'm going to introduce you to its interior-exterior specifics, telling you why it can be a good buy for someone who can afford it. I will give you my opinion on its road behavior and tell you and how it can evolve in all and makes its tube. Don't forget to subscribe to activate the bell. Ditto on our account will install the seller of automobiles. And I tell you right away the fastest subject in the world. It is the Lamborghini Urus, which takes its name from an old breed of European bison which has disappeared. You should know that before him, the Italian brand had marketed another all-terrain vehicle. It was the M002, which was equipped with a V12 engine of 400 and from the Lamborghini as a tusk. It was produced between 1986 and 1993 at only 300 copies, but rest assured with the Italian brand obviously intends to increase the production rate. It even plans to double it and exceed the 7,500 vehicles sold each year. To read, you have that this model is equipped with the ML Bent and Vo platform from the Verger Group on the outside. Let's start by describing the front side of the sweet Lamborghini. Already, the first look at him in this position, it is these muscular surfaces which give him a strong and reassuring appearance. Look at the center of the hood, you have this dome with its typical cross lines of the brand, also found on the side parts. Then you have these headlights which are techniques developed by Lamborghini which take up inside the iconic shapes of the brand, like for example those of the Greeks, which is also included in the design of the aerodynamic noises right here as another iconic element of Lamborghini. You also have these hexagonal elements which are included in the front grille, but also on many elements inside the vehicle. Even look at the driving aids. Sensors, driving aids are inside fronts. You obviously have the camera which allows you to use the 360-degree camera system, the plate holder, and obviously you have the logo. Lamborghini continues to explain the origin of this logo. Then, you should know that on the red, you have two packs. Carbon styling on the outside. You have a first concerning the front grille and another concerning the mirrors and the side part of the vehicle. Our test model is equipped Paco Fraude. Paco Fraude notably allows you to have two additional driving modes which are the words earth and sand. And on top of that, it adds additional protections under the vehicle and an angle of attack which will be more important than the models which are not equipped with this pack with frauds. Finally, on the front part, you have sensors for the parking distance control which are located all around the bumper. I will detail the block for you, not here. You have the Y-shaped daytime running light, just above the lights. Crossing and inside the block just saw the greenhouse in the FARD plan. When you activate flashing Revo, you will have the daytime running lights that will turn into flashing. You now demonstrate it. Look at it, activate the low beam. The aid fire intensity decreased. Here I activate my plans. And children. The turn signals. In our test model, people are 23 inches tall. On the standard rule, you will have people of 21 inches and, optionally, you have 22 and 20 that are available. 10 models of different people will be offered to you by the Italian manufacturer. You may have noticed them. Its tires are fair, gigantic in width. 285 on the front and rear, 325 cm in width. They were specially developed for the red Lamborghini by Pirelli. You even have registration. Right here that it indicates something else that jumps out at you when you look at these magnificent two-tone 23-inch rims. These are the ceramic carbon brakes. Look. The size of the brake disc 440 mm with calipers, set piston on the front and a piston on the rear tires. You have the option to modify the color of the writing of France. 6 colors are offered by the banks. I was talking to you about two carbon fiber packs on the outside. The second concerns wheel arch surrounds and mirrors. They are in carbon finish. On the mirrors, you have flashing repeaters and, just below, a camera, which allows you to use the camera system at 360 degrees. If I come back a little bit on the front, we find of course these shapes and characteristic of the iconic shapes of the brand. And look at this aerodynamic appendage within its center. The small Italian flag is always these hexagonal shapes. When we continue on the vehicle, we has these carbon fiber sinks. You should know that you have a ground clearance on this vehicle of 173 mm. Look at a window surround. All place. That's pretty, especially with this dark grey color. And look, there is no stud on the doors. This is signed by designer Marcello Bandini, which had notably worked on the Lamborghini Countach a few decades ago. Then, if we also continue on the rear, the wheel arch surrounds are made of carbon fiber. Other carbon fiber components. Look at the fuel tank cap. The Lamborghini side is also made of carbon fiber. You have 75 liters of capacity in your defense tank. The crossed lines and the shapes on which I told you about are repeated on the side. Look, we also find in the middle of the back door. With this great line and of course on the front. Those that I have just shown you three possibilities to open the tailgate of your that the first offers is in the door on the driver's side. You will only have active this button, the second on your ignition key. Look at his daughters. You can lock your vehicle and here open your trunk. The third most conventional, with the handle right here, and you can optionally on your soft buggy, have the opening at the foot. Our test model no, is not equipped. In this configuration, you will have a space of 116 liters. And if you lower the rear seat, because the rear seats are foldable table, you will have a volume of 1596 liters under the trunk floor. A kit. Anti-puncture. You have the bomb, the good flower, and on the left of the chest, a first aid kit. Here the commands for dropped and wear. This is the ride height. If, for example, you want to load your vehicle with a heavy package, the luggage cover being bad, Cantara had put it on. Justifies separation. Really tiny. I do not recommend putting it on, because afterwards, visibility is really almost non-existent. When you look in your central mirror, the finishes are really beautiful. The luggage is here. You have another warning triangle here and there. You have the command to close the jersey of your trunk and also locked with. Look at small lamps. So the art lanterns here, and there are also some inside the trunk on the left and right. On the roof, a small antenna on the back. Then you have this. Light spoiler that ends beautifully. The vehicle line end at its center. The third brake light on under, you have the rear window very tilted. Necessarily. It limits the visibility in the central rear view mirror of the vehicle when you drive under this small fins always in finish. Carbon fiber, always carbon fiber underneath with the inscription Lamborghini Chrome if it goes really well, then the lights, which resume its forms. Look at it. They are of course using with technical help. Shapes. We are also included. Look in the design of the vehicle, it had these very nice aerodynamics above the plate support. A camera with a geek for them. Clean the smaller the camera when the room's in this diffuser, just below, also in carbon fiber, with of course the remote parking sensors. Control. You should know that on the exhausts, there are 4 exits. 3 different finishes are offered at Lamborghini and you can have accessories, this exhaust model. We are lucky to have them on our test model. They were developed thanks to Toad. Quick, I can assure you that in terms of noise, it's just mind-blowing what they managed to produce. You have also another little detail about the fire. Look, see this little one either. See here, it is used for the rear light when you engage your reverse gear, they will light up. On each side, like a very small precious stone of dimensions at the height of the vehicle engine in length, the Urus is measured 5 meters 11.2 meters 0.2 in width in rear view mirror for a height of 1 meter 64. For you, to locate the size of the red header BMW X, this measurement in length 5 only 4 centimeters from me. That is to say the imposing size of the finally, you have a weight of 2.2 tons empty for Lamborghini. To open your engine cover, you have a command, the opening attracted to you in this way, and then, a second security feature, you will have this command activated for completely the engine cover. First thing you will see right in the middle of the engine block is below the Italian flag. It is this series of numbers which indicates the order of ignition. Engine cylinders like the old Lamborghini. You should know that this engine block is an 8-liter twin-turbo which develops the trifle of 650 horses. With a just mind-blowing couple of 850 Nm available from 2,250 revolutions per minute. So inevitably, with such power and couple, performances are at the rendezvous. The 0 to 100 km/h is shot in just 3.6 seconds and top speed reached. Listen well, 300 kilometers. These are super performances, because in one unfollowed, we never tried such a car on our tube chain. In terms of consumption, you make around 14 to 15 liters per 100 kilometers. If you don't press too much on the accelerator, the manufacturer gives an average mixed consumption at 12.3 liters, is in 4 or via an 8-speed gearbox made. Rocchio Lamborghini, creator of the brand, was very impressed by the bulls and was a big fan of bullfights. In addition, a zodiac sign was none other than the bull. He therefore chose a bull in a very aggressive posture as the brand's logo with a base price of €212. Excluding options, Urus is clearly positioned as a very exclusive vehicle. You should know that he liked 290 grams of CO2 per kilometer, a penalty of €10,500 in 2019, and from the 1st of January 2020, you will pay a penalty of €12,500. However, it is a vehicle that can play the card of all the vehicles you have in your parking lot. He knows how to go on the circuit. He knows how to go to the mountains. Your children in the countryside. He just did it all. It is true versatility without equal. It is in this sense that the redhead can be a good buy for a person who can afford it. Now let's go inside with the rear seats with a wheelbase of 3 meters. We are welcomed at the back of this long bandit. So you look, I am a meter 88. I have room for my days. To listen to me at the level of the guard, it's okay, but it's a little bit limited. I think that a person of 95 may have a little put inside this vehicle. The finishes are exemplary. There is profusion leather on the back of a Lamborghini or, of course, on the seats. You have 3 celery. Different on the leather seats of the vehicle, and you have 2 series in Alcantara which are offered by the manufacturer. You of course have the Sage Lamborghini hires. It's also an option on this vehicle, so I showed you earlier. The PAX carbon fiber on the outside, there are also inside the vehicle. It is an option, and the Team R test model. Look, you have the encirclement of the carbon fiber ventilation nozzles just below, a Bezo air conditioning only you can adjust the heating, air condition. Also activate the heating of your seats just below price. 12 volts. And you have noticed, Our test model is equipped with the 4-seater pack. So with this big central armrest, with 2 cup holders, a small arrangement, just here and there, under the central armrest, a large storage unit appears with 2 USB sockets which are available. Sure. You caught it, so right here to open yourself up that way. There are also entertainment system screens available at the rear, and these screens are retractable. If you wish, for example, to take them on your lap, it will be possible. Just do this and you will take them with you. You will then have access to all the vehicle's features. You have of course other considerations on the side, and look at the sky of pavilions and black leather in the vehicle. It is really beautiful. And speaking of the really beautiful elements, there are these against doors which are for me a real work of art. It starts by looking at the Bensusan speakers with this iconic shape, always in Greek by Lamborghini. Leather all around the leather at the handle, leather also on the top of the door with. Look at these plastics, we are excellent. Bill. You have a carbon fiber finish, of course, and here you can deploy by pressing twice on your window control the side awning. The rear window. At the rear, the seats are also electrically adjustable. Watch with its controls, you can even adjust the lumbar. We will now move to the front. I will detail the storm doors, so look at the storm doors. We find the same tenors on the doors against the back, with always the Bang & Olufsen speakers. There is, in addition, the tailgate opening control. I showed you earlier. You have the memory settings for the electric seats, and then you have the controls of the glass. With the rear view mirror adjustment, you can adjust the left and right, and then the vehicle lock release buttons. The front seats are also electric, with another additional feature. It's massage. By activating this button, you will benefit from the massage on the front seats. Then, on the left side of the steering wheel, you have the bottom of the dashboard, which is made of leather. Do you have the fog activation functions here? Look at the carbon finishes with the gulls. Rations, always with this hexagonal shape. And the turn is made of carbon, like the turn of the screen, the instrumentation at the steering wheel. You to electrically adjust volume. Here is the adaptive cruise control, an aeronautical design of the passenger compartment. With this very sporty steering wheel, it is in perforated leather. You have 3 finishes on the steering wheel in the USS. This is optional. You have another, then 10, and finally another with leather that can take the color of your seats in the center of the steering wheel. The Lamborghini logo below, you have this aluminium finish with, just below, the Italian flag on the right of the steering wheel. You can change your playlists and your radio, adjust the volume. You can activate voice control and answer calls. With this button on the left, you can navigate in your onboard computer, change the view of your instrumentation screen, and also change it in this way, by placing, for example on the left, the map of your guidance by satellite. Then you have palettes, of course, on both sides. And in this instrumentation screen, the display changes according to the driving modes in which you use your weather. For example, I am in Strada, which is the most used road mode, which can be compared to a comfort mode. If I change the mode to mode Sport, watch here the appearance of the G calculation, and you have the color of your outline which will change. And there, if I switch to Corsa mode, your track, there I have yet another display that appears on the screen. You can even on the left to have the power and the torque that you use in real time. It's really very comprehensive. And there, if I go into the sand modes, that is a mode. In fraud, you have on the left side tilt and also the tilt of the vehicle in front what appears. If I switch to earth mode, I have the same display, and in just mode the color that changes, it is no longer a color. Sand, a white color to imitate snow, and there I can return to normal mode. It should be noted that on the right, you have of course the fuel gauge, which is right here on the center console, leather galore. You even have Apple, Kantara right here, and from your others the speakers of the Bongi audio system. Where are who are optional as our model of this equipped with the carbon interior pack. You have the encirclement, carbon ventilation nozzles, of course, always with this hexagonal shape, and just below the screen of the entertainment info system, which of course includes radio, media, telephone, navigation, phone applications, and also the voting settings. You can, for example, choose the driving modes of your vehicle by going to Lamborghini Anima, which stands for Adaptive Network Intelligence Management. And there you can choose your driving modes. So you have the driving modes that I have described that are listed just below with the Anima command. There, you will only have to do this to activate the different driving modes that equip your sweet Lamborghini. If we go back a little bit here, you can deactivated the SP activated seen either here and below on the screen. The second screen there will be the air conditioning settings. Look with this small digital step, this is really very precise and really practical. When driving the vehicle in particular, you can deactivate the start-stop system. With this button you can act assistance with the descent. It is reserved for your evolution in fraud, and you can activate and deactivate the assistance with the maintenance and the voice. If the main features, then with this button, you can increase and decrease the desired. Exchange your music from your playlist, from your iPhone for example. So the picture just showed you here, you can with this not activate the reverse gear of your vehicle, and here you will have the indication of your gear engaged with this button. When you press the P button, you can put in the parking position, and with the M button, you can put yourself in the manual position. So changing your reports will be done manually and, of course, looking in the center. This magnificent red piece. When you lift this valve, you can turn on the engine of your vehicle, but also the soft ones. So it is not necessarily necessary to lift, but you can run your finger across to do it. Also on the right, the EGO system, which allows you to adjust the suspensions, the direction, and also the transmission of your Lamborghini, or it sinks just a little bit of them. Cup holder always with this hexagonal shape, and on the left here, the electric parking brake. The system in Togo Old, which allows you at the red light, for example, to no longer have to press the brake on your vehicle. The system does it for you here. By pressing this button activates your driver aids that you can adjust, and then with this button you activate the camera system at 360 degrees. Worried? Very well made on the vehicle, and which is relatively precise, always with its carbon fiber finishes of course, and under the central armrest, which is quite wide. A small storage, which shows several USB sockets, but also an induction charging of your smartphone on the ceiling light. Several elements already. You can turn on a light of your ceiling by activating this button. Here you can activate the overhead light in the rear seats. Here you have courtesy lights activated by touch, like this. With this button, you can open and close the curtain, obscuring your panoramic roof. Here you can open and close your panoramic sunroof on the sun visors. You have leather everywhere with, of course, a little light right here and a mirror. This is also the case for the driver. A large storage space under the info screen. Entertainment, you have two sockets 12 volts, and in the glove box quite small space, but you can however activate, deactivated, the passenger airbag. It is necessary. Note that this glove box is air-conditioned next for the seats. For a very sporty vehicle, they are comfortable, even very comfortable. When you are in mode Strada, you can easily chain hundreds of kilometers, you will not have back pain. In addition, the finishes are really excellent with looking at the interior of the seats, just like at the back with its hexagonal shapes and the long Lamborghini logo which is inscribed in the headrests on the road. The Lamborghini Urus surprised at first by its ease of driving by positioning itself in Strada mode. The silence of the exhaust, the damping and the steering make you enjoy a real rolling lounge. Whether you are in the front or in the rear seat, the balance sheet itself, it is very comfortable. It would even teach the Germans disappointed, more affordable is much less powerful. And speaking of power, the V8 liters offers you an almost inexhaustible supply. We are even surprised when we know the weight of the beast since, let's not forget, it reaches the 100 kilometers in only 6 seconds. And it's not just a grease sheet machine, because its handling is also exemplary thanks in particular to the ultimate in chassis technology's air suspension. 4-wheel steering and active anti-roll. The set is controlled by an anima driving mode selector which offers no less than 6 different programs, activated by, to a spectacular aviation-inspired throttle thanks to the writings on the front, said heavy piston or get very strong, and the presence of ceramic carbon on the brakes gives the vehicles a flawless on all phases of deceleration. When you activate the sport mode which lowers the suspension changes, the response of the transmission becomes much more virile, but it is of course in Corsa mode that red turns into a furious animal. The V8 then begins to crackle wildly, the gear changes become brutal and the stability program is reduced, at least. To be transparent with you, I have never felt such sensations at the wheel of a subject. The expression signs yes, but say possible, used by Lamborghini to advertise the redhead that we can translate into French by until we make it possible for them, expresses the prowess of Lamborghini to have created a new category of cars. The term is saved for great sport. Utility vehicle is really not usurped when we decide to get out of the bitumen. We are reassured by the presence of the fraudulent driving modes of the anima system with the words sand, earth, and snow. You know it, we have the habit, on our YouTube channel, to test almost all the subjects in everything and makes but are all that swerve of many pieces in carbon fiber and people of 23 inches. We obviously did not take the risk of damaging these fragile elements, but know that in addition to the track when it was developed to make all-terrain, if, in addition you took the Paco Fade option you would not hesitate to make it evolve in sand, earth, mud or even snow. Its motor system has been developed to pass the power of 650 horses. Whatever ground you drive red head on, Lamborghini's images speak volumes about the capabilities of 7 years. I am out of the order. Do that leave the red Lamborghini? Among its shortcomings, we will note a very high price which starts at €212 without option, a consumption which can prove to be very important, especially in sporty driving and quite heavy taxation. Fortunately, he has a lot of qualities and it starts with fair performances. Bewildering for a subject, it has a demonic and finally, unrivaled versatility. Friends on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. Activate the bell. Ditto on our account. Install Serious Car Safe soon. Go Jung.